All right, Joey's had enough of that, huh? Joey's had enough. Let's bring in our guy, man. What up, Zoo?
What's going on, guys?
Izubee,
Not much, man.
you look
Out
like
here
you running
grinding,
on
huh?
fumes right now, brother.
Oh, bro, this weekend I walked 14 miles in 2 days, up and down the sideline. I got my steps in for sure this weekend, man. It was fun.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Hey, we're just gonna look. Y'all already know, man. Azubee's family, man. That's how we rock on this show. We got the comments already jumping. People already watching. Curveballs in the building. We're gonna drop the intro real quick, and we'll come right back.
Welcome to the You Heard podcast with your hosts, Ben, Joe, and CP. We're here to cover everything related to Miami Hurricanes football, from hot topics to pre- and post-game analysis.
All right, we'll talk about it at the end. We'll talk about it.
No. Let's talk about that right now because you completely flipped it on me now.
I hate him for knowing this, bro. This man knew the brand, dog.
Okay, I don't appreciate that. I'm saying, like, I don't appreciate.
What did you say? What are we talking about, son?
Get into it. I felt
Keeping it a buck.
You heard?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. We had to get you on the show. We knew you were out there talking to Cam Newton. You know what I'm saying? Game changers. You know what I'm saying? Game managers asking the hard questions out there. What was that experience like, man?
It was really cool. Obviously talking to Cam Newton, a guy that I grew up watching, Heisman winner, national championship winner, first overall pick in the NFL draft. So it was kind of surreal being able to interview him. But man, that guy's a ball of energy, and kind of, having Luke Nickel play for him too, kind of added some extra, oomph for me, because obviously Luke Nickel is committed to Miami. But just watching his style of coaching and how he approaches these guys and how he gets them fired up, it's like, how can you not want to play for a guy like Cam Newton? And then his players bought in. Luke Nickel led them to that battle 7-on-7 championship, which is not hard. No, not easy to win whatsoever. Like, there's certain teams that train year round. Like the team that they beat, Tucson Turf, is like the golden child for 7-on-7. And I'm telling you, Luke was just dotting it up all weekend. Every game I watched, he was just cool, composed, collective, fitting balls in tight windows, throwing guys open, pinpointing guys, making his first read, looking at his second read, hitting guys. Luke was just amazing. That was kind of like the best part for me the whole weekend, just watching him. And I watched him his first game of the season, his junior year versus Western in Broward. And I'm not gonna say I wasn't like blown away. I was just like, all right, it's a little rainy. I haven't seen anything crazy. Like, let's see what this kid can do throughout the year. I mean, it's still early, and just seeing him from there to now, day and night, I feel like he's gotten taller. He's gotten more confident. He's bigger. His arm looks stronger. Got zip on it. Knows when to drop a nice touch to it. Just his whole game looks different. And I spoke with one of our on-3 guys, Jeremy Johnson, that covers the Georgia area and things like that. And he kind of told me the same thing. He watched him in, I believe, the second loss of the season that they had. And was like, this team, it just doesn't look like where it needs to be right now. And he said Luke kind of just changed the complete landscape of that Milton team, led them to the 7A Georgia playoff championship, which is the highest classification in Georgia. Beat 4 undefeated teams to get there. Just kind of showed out, put up the numbers. I believe 3,800 passing yards, 36 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. You can see I saw all of that on display. So that was kind of my biggest takeaway, just watching Luke Nickel just kill everybody and just be cool with it. He's celebrating with Cam Newton after had the Miami chain on, was flexing the chain. So he definitely has that swagger that a lot of Canes fans have. And he told me the schools are knocking, but he's just locked in with Miami right now. And I don't really see that changing anytime soon.
Yeah, love to hear that. Love to hear that. So other than Luke, let's go other positions, man. On the offensive side of the ball, at receiver, who did you see that, like, you was like, oh, man, listen, this dude is that dude? Who did you see like that?
I'm going to start with a guy I've been kind of high on, really, Vernell Brown out of Jones in Orlando. He's a 4-star, around 350 on 3 industry ranking. But this guy was getting it done both ways. He was playing safety for SFE. I think he had like 4 interceptions throughout the tournament. He doesn't play defensive back in high school. He's just an athlete. Offensively, this kid is twitched up. He's fast, strong hands. Like, I remember the first time I saw him was last year at a Miami 7-on-7 camp where he torched Miami Central for the championship, 6 touchdowns, and he keeps doing it. Like I feel like this kid keeps getting better and better and better. And I'm like, there's one player I'd buy stock in now if he's a stock. I'm saying Vernell Brown. Right now, it's kind of a 4-star. I think this kid is going to blow up over the week. And then we have guys like Dallas Wilson, the Oregon commit, 6'4" receiver, real big guy. Miami's pushing for him. We've got Jamie French, another guy I was really impressed with out of South Florida Express, another wide receiver just backed off his commitment to Bama. He told me kind of he has his top 3 situated, which is Miami, Florida State, and Ohio State. So that should be one that people, should monitor throughout this recruiting cycle. And just a bunch of other guys, the Nashawn Montgomerys of the world, Cortez Mills, just all those South Florida wide receivers. The guy that I really like, Miami hasn't offered yet, Khalil Sterling out of Miami Central last year, 30 receptions, 700 yards. So every time he touches that ball, it turns into gold. Just a bunch of talented guys. Malachi Tony, oh my gosh, that kid is special. 2026 wide receiver in Miami. From Cristobal, I'm doing everything in my power to keep that kid, committed to the program. Like his coach told me, he's had the best hands to ever come out of American Heritage. And I've had the chance to watch this weekend. This kid is special. Like cool, calm, and composed. Very, very good. Another guy, Winston Watkins. He was kind of Winston Watkins and C.J. Wiley. I have to give a big shout out to C.J. Wiley out of Milton. Those are kind of Luke's top targets. Just every other play, I felt like he was throwing these guys open there, scoring touchdowns. That whole CONN team. They have you guys remember Casey Concepcion from NC State?
Yep. Yeah, I know his brother. I seen his brother's out here in
Arian, right?
So he was going off too. Yeah, he was playing with that CONN team. I actually spoke with KC. He was there too. I walked up to him. I was like, man, you have to do it in Miami like that during the game. We kind of joked about that. But his little brother is going to be a ball player too, and Miami offered him. So much talent out there. I feel like I can talk for days about, the number of wideouts and guys that I was impressed with. But, that kind of select 6 or 7 guys I just named really stuck out to me, and kind of guys that Miami really like as well.
All right, man. Let's DJ Pickett.
Oof,
right? Bro, I don't even need to ask a question, right? Like just
the
obvious. Low hanging fruit works too, Joe. Don't be a hater. DJ Pickett, man. What break it down for those of us just getting into recruiting. I'm saying our watchers and our listeners and stuff, and break it down why DJ Pickett is that dude.
Yeah, he's an alien, man. That's how I could describe him. So it's funny, like some of us guys in like the recruiting industry are like, this kid's kind of a unicorn because he was supposed to visit Miami 3 times. He's never showed up. Like this was like the first time like everyone's really got eyes on him. He's just so tall, and like I feel like his arms can it's crazy. And like for being that tall, I'm 6'2", and I'm looking up to the kid. I think he's 6'4", maybe even touching 6'5". He moves so well for his size. A lot of people he's listed as a safety, I believe, on 3, but he was playing corner most of the time and kind of just shut down one side of the field. Like this kid is a smooth, fluid hips, can turn, can make up for, if he's ever behind a guy because his length and just this. If I'm Miami, like I said, I'm all in on this kid. He was kind of talking a little bit. I interviewed him about Miami. He likes Miami. I spoke with Booker as well. Booker said he's trying to get his cousin there as much as anybody right now. So that little family aspect is funny. I interviewed DJ and I kind of wrote the story on site. And while I'm writing the story, his dad is, sitting right behind me, decked out in Miami gear. So I'm talking to his dad as well, man. So a lot of family ties to the Hurricanes. And, DJ is as advertised, probably better. That 5-star ranking that he got, all the hype that he gets, it's well deserved because that kid's a ball player. He was playing a little bit of wide receiver too, but Miami's all in on this kid, and for good reason. DJ Pickett's definitely a guy that I really, really like, and I'm glad I got to see live for the first time this past weekend.
What other? Obviously he's that guy at DB. What other DBs can you look at and like shut down DBs, man, that you saw out there that you like?
So I really like Zay Thomas out of American Heritage, 2025 guy. He's kind of really, really starting to pick up momentum. I think he's at 28 or almost 30 offers now. Granted, he was playing on kind of a bum ankle that he hurt towards the end of the season, but this was his first live action. He still looked really, really good. Had a big pick in one of the games that I watched, and with him, he's kind of a tweener between a cornerback and a safety because he's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I spoke with some guys on staff, and they were asking me like, "Hey, we recruit him at safety, or am I doing the dirty work and recruiting for Coach Nicholson right now? We have to move into the box. So he is he's a versatile defensive back, and I just love his composure, his style of play, good size to him, moves well for his size, and all that good stuff. So he's definitely one of the DBs that really caught my attention this weekend.
Nice.
All right, besides Luke, right? That's obvious. You know what I'm saying? Got one to 7-on-7 battle. What other quarterback stood out to you that's you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily that Mike was looking at or talking to or whatever, but just that we need to look at as a fan base. You'd be like, okay, let's see what's popping over here.
So two guys I'm gonna go start with the 2026 kid out of Jones. His name's Darion Coleman. Played for the Miami Immortals, and he's a guy that I've been watching for a little bit now, and I've kind of seen him grow steadily, and just watching him at the battle tournament, I was like, wow, this kid has really kind of grown up in front of my eyes. Because I remember the first time I met him, he's just some little lanky freshman that has a few Power 5 offers and this and that, and obviously he's a young guy, so the young guys make mistakes and things like that. But just watching him kind of compose, lead the team, be that guy for the Miami Immortals, I was really impressed with him. He's got some interest in Miami, but they haven't pulled the offer yet, so definitely going to be looking out for him. And then another guy that played for Raw Miami, Jared Lockhart out of North Carolina, I believe. Right now, the kid has 2 offers, Boston College and Syracuse 3, and UConn as well. And you just watch him. The kid is a player. I interviewed him just get familiar with the guy, and I was like, how would you describe your playing style? He's like, I'm a pocket passer that knows when to run when I need to. And this kid is a 6'4", 6'5", cannon of an arm, and he caught a lot of people's attention this week. So he's another one of those quarterbacks that I really liked watching this weekend throughout that tournament for sure.
Okay.
He's from Indian Trail, North Carolina, man. Plays it. Okay.
That's down the road, ain't it?
You can definitely get eyes on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like to ask this every time, man. What is the word from the recruits about Miami, man? Like how is everybody feeling about Miami? What's the word on the street, regarding the Miami Hurricanes for this year?
So kind of the biggest thing, one of the biggest things when I talk to guys is they know the talent's there. They just need to put it together because, 2 back-to-back top 10 classes. Half these kids are the 2025s now, or juniors and sophomores, when a lot of these guys were in high school that are at Miami now. So they know, hey, Miami's getting these ballers. Miami's getting, JoJo Trader, Chance Robinson. That was, one of the biggest guys on the 7-on-7 circuit last year. Miami's getting big guys out of IMG Academy. I spoke with Kanai Pepe. He's the number 3 player in the 2026 class, offensive lineman. He was just there, and I was like, hey, might as well talk to him. He's telling me, the talent is all there. Luke Nickel telling me, Miami's going for that number 1 class in the 2025 cycle. So the talent is there. The kids know it. They're just waiting. And, getting that Cam Ward, man, a lot of kids are paying attention to that and say, hey, Miami finally got their quarterback. Let's see what they can do. So like I said, everyone knows the talent is in Miami. Everyone knows they were a few pieces away. It's so funny because you think, hey, how much do these kids pay attention to the programs that are recruiting them? And these kids have their eyes glued to these teams, man. Like, kids are telling me things. I like how this guy plays. I like how that guy plays. I like how Coach Geargy did this. I like how Coach Dawson did that. So these guys are paying a lot of attention to Miami. They see the talents there. They're just waiting for it to all come together and kind of get that ball rolling. Obviously, 7-5 isn't where you want to be, or 7-6, including the bowl game. But I feel like this third year for Cristobal, you got your quarterback, you got your 2 classes rolled in, that culture's there. Now it's time to go and show these kids, hey, this is what we've been talking about these last 2 years, and you be the next line of guys to come in and continue this thing that we got going.
Dope. We got a question from Fantasy Football. Now, one of our guys, he says, just opted in. Am I hearing right? CJ Wiley didn't get an offer from Miami, so they haven't pulled the trigger on CJ Wiley.
CJ Wiley does have the offer from Miami. They visited him yesterday. Luke Nickel was kind of telling me that he's between Miami and a few other schools, but it's nothing kind of too serious yet. So he was one of the guys that I mentioned a little bit earlier that was just balling, man. I feel like every time I watched him, he was running a drag route to the back of the end zone, and then Luke was just putting it right at the hands. He probably had 1 million touchdowns, I feel like, this weekend. And he's the guy that I watched earlier this year. I'm not going to say I wasn't too impressed by him, but I wasn't just like, wow, this kid is a game-changing type of player. This weekend, he was a game-changing type of player. Really caught my eye, really caught a lot of, people's eye this weekend. And, I feel like Miami's going to really, really start pushing that CJ Wiley agenda to try to keep those 2 guys, together, because Luke told me he would love to play with CJ Wiley at the next level. And kind of this weekend, he probably really put his stamp on, what type of guy he is and showed, some of the top scouts from all the, major industries that, hey, I'm a guy you guys should be paying attention to. Miami made that visit up to Milton High School and, sat down with, CJ and Luke. So I feel like Miami's going to start amping up those recruiting efforts for CJ Wiley.
Okay. All right. Joey, what you got?
I'm good. What you got up next? Zuby, what you got coming up?
So we just waiting through the spring coming up, man. Springtime, we're gonna start seeing a lot of more guys coming in. We also got more 7-on-7 tournaments. I feel like I said, this 2025 cycle, Mario's gunning for that number one spot, and I think it might be a table. I'm not gonna lie to you, just the way these last two cycles have been. You get the number 8 class last year. I think you get the number 4 or 5 class this year. You don't have to deal with big bad Saban up there hauling all the 5 stars and all that good stuff.
That's absolute
You
fact.
start winning on the field. I feel like Miami can really, really make a run at that top 3 or that number 1 class in the country. Granted, I'm not saying, hey, this is guaranteed. Miami's in that number 1 class, but just the amount of talent that was in Coral Gables this weekend is, crazy. Like, shout out to Steven, shout out to, all the other recruiting guys that were out there, but those 2 days, the amount of kids I saw, the amount of 4 or 5-star kids, I'm just like, there's no way this program doesn't reel in another top 5 class. Just how highly these kids are speaking of, the coaching staff, how much work the coaching staff is putting in and all that stuff. So I really do have, high expectations for Miami this year recruiting wise. And, if they can get it done on the field, which I really, really do think they do, this is going to be, a force, man. Honestly,
that's the key. Yeah, that's the key, man. We're all waiting for the wins. We're all waiting for the wins.
To get over that hump. Like, okay, you're doing this, but just give me that other line. Like, okay, you can cross that threshold.
Yeah. If Miami wins 9-10, recruiting is gonna be real spooky.
You say, yeah. You think we talking crazy now because of Cam Moore? Get ready.
I love seeing the off-season champion things, man, because it's just like it's a beast that's waiting to get woken up, honestly, because, just being around the program for the last 2 years, you see the work that these guys put in and just all this stuff, the difference. When I tell you there is such a difference from the first day I started covering this team to now, just the makeup, the build, the size of players, the attitude of guys, just the energy down there. It's different. And a lot of guys even felt that. It's just like you're talking to, I spoke with a group of kids from Louisiana. They said, man, it doesn't get any better than this. You're looking at, one of the most beautiful campuses in the country. The coaching staff shows you as much love as possible when you step foot on campus. It's a bunch of little things that they're doing right. But I feel like in the end of the day are going to be, big factors when it comes to this program succeeding and getting where they want to be.
Yeah, man. Before we get you up out of here, Zuby, man, last one. Other than the guys you saw at 7-on-7, what are some recruits across the country that I'm saying we should be looking at that Miami's offered that's high up on your list for like them dudes?
So I would say an offensive lineman out of Wisconsin, Owen Strayberg, I believe. Yeah,
that big boy. That boy is monster.
6'8", 300 pounds is one of those hogs. When guys say hogs, he's literally a hog.
Yeah. He's committing like in a week. He's committing
So
the 8th, next Thursday.
He's coming off the board pretty soon, and Steven has done a great job with covering him. My guy Steven Wagner. Steven thinks it's going to be a battle between Miami and Notre Dame, and I have to agree with him because obviously he's from that northern area of Wisconsin, right in the neck of Notre Dame territory. But Coach Cristobal was recently up there. I went to go see him, and he's been a guy that Miami's been high on for a very, very long time. And another guy that offensive lineman that was down on campus this weekend, but not a part of the 7-on-7, Zaire Addison out of Sumner. He is a big boy in the offensive line, and I really like where Miami stands with him. They're kind of recruiting a trio over there with Zaire Addison, Cameron White, who's a defensive end, and linebacker. And Tyler Williams is a wide receiver. Those 3 guys are really, really blowing up. So a lot of guys to be excited about. A bunch of Buford guys as well. Montrez Walker, Jaden Perlotti, Hayden Bradley. Hayden Bradley's a tight end that's blown up recently. a lot of guys in that 2025 class, man. It's going to be exciting. These last 2 cycles were fun, but I think this one, might take the cake when it comes to glitz and glam and bringing in those guys that kind of can be program changers.
CB had to get it in. The Hilton Drake Stubbs. That's
Yeah.
one guy that he's super high on.
He
I
loves
love Stubbs, but I'm not in love with kind of where things stand right now, honestly. But yeah,
It's early, we gotta wake us up in
It's
December, man. You know
it's
how
January. It's
very
January.
exactly. It like Dennis Smith always says, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Facts, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, Izubee, man, we'll get you up out of here, man. We know you got other things to do, man. Go get some rest, my brother. We'll talk soon, man. Thank you so much, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Always a pleasure, guys.
Let's go into our commercial.
Welcome to CaneSport.
New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, CaneSport has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. CaneSport, the spot Miami fans shop.
Man, you think CB crying after hearing, that it's rough right now? Look, it's early, man. We don't
in December, son. You know what it is. CB, he should have learned his lesson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it.
Podcast.com. You heard podcast.com, man. We ain't worried about it. Actually, probably, though, to be honest, his brother plays at FSU. That doesn't matter. Yeah. Brothers change jerseys all the time now, man. Jump in the portal like crazy.
Especially when bad things happen. You know what I mean? It seems like teams eliminate themselves.
Yeah. I don't worry about any early commitments, man. Like you commit like around this time, it's a long way to go, yo. It's a long way to go. Like you haven't taken official visits. Next week, it'd be nice to start it with the 6'8" lineman. You know what I'm saying, from the Midwest, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna hold you because you gotta lock in your spots, man. Who you looking at so far? I know we started watching some huddles and all that stuff, man. Who you looking at that's jumping up?
I'm curious about the kid, the Owen kid, man. A lot of people say we need to start getting linemen from that region.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That neck of the woods,
Wisconsin, the Illinois, the Michigans, the Ohios, you know what I mean? The big boys up there, man. So I'm really curious, and I know what those guys will do. I know what Coach Cristobal and Coach Mirabal will do with that dude. So I'm looking at him, man, and obviously DJ, like DJ Pickett. Listen, we haven't really had the shutdown blue chip corner DB. You know what I mean? James Williams, 5-star.
Yeah.
Damari Brown, man, listen, a problem. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you know what I mean. We haven't really had that, man, and that you have to start getting those guys so other guys will come. You know what I mean? That's the respect factor. You get a Jeremiah Smith, everybody gonna want to come. JoJo, you get a JoJo, everybody gonna want to ride. So.
Not necessarily in that class, but the carryover, right?
Right.
JoJo went there last year. Yeah, JoJo went there last year. Yeah, like first year we had one. Got what players get flipped is what happens. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's out there in Colorado. You know what I'm saying? Last year we couldn't close it. Ellis stayed locked in with Georgia. I know that one hurt. I know. But this year it's DJ, right? Like that you gotta start getting one or two of those guys, so it becomes two to four of those guys the next time, right? Mm-hmm. Like the math got to start mathing on the way up because that's how you start turning shit over. That's why I'm like, the next guy's all as good as this one might be better. You know what I'm saying? He just needed the year in the weight room. Like we stashed Josh Horton last year, right? And JHH had a great year. So yeah, man, like I've listen, Hilton Drake Stubbs, serious, but DJ Pickett to me just I don't understand. Like I'm watching, I'm like I don't understand. Like I don't understand how you just cover everything. But so we're gonna start doing some breakdowns. We got some things coming on that end because we don't, what I'm saying, we want to put in our 2 cents in that whole spectrum of that, man. CB says it's down to us, Wisconsin, Notre Dame, FSU, I think USC. So everybody. Okay, thanks. Thanks, CB. It's down to the entire college landscape. Okay, well, thanks. I appreciate that so much. What we got? Yeah, fam, it is. DJ pick a DB1, son. Yeah,
He knows. He knows, man. He knows,
he knows.
man.
You get your favorites, man. You get your favorites every class. Like last year for me, it was Juggernaut, right? Like you get your favorites in the class. It might not necessarily be everybody's favorite or the number one. Just like a guy that like, yo, I want this monster on my team, and that's how it works, man. Yours was Ellis last
year. Yeah, Ellis was my guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, Artavius. We already knew about Artavius, man. We was like, yo, this doesn't make sense.
It did make sense.
Yeah.
You got a numero uno yet, or is it just still too early in the recruiting cycle?
Right now, just based off Huddle, Elijah Melendez, just based off what I've seen. Somebody who wants to knock everybody's head off. It doesn't matter if they're in the play and not in the play, if they're on the other side of the field, if it's the
somebody's parents
or whatever. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm with that. That's my guy. If you want to do that consistently on every play, just for fun, you know what I mean? That's
to the whistle. Yeah.
Yeah. So Elijah Melendez right now is my number one. Yeah.
Listen, a fellow bushy top, you know what I'm saying? So I already have that kinship right there. So yeah, he's that guy for me. Yeah. I got Poe Kane, man, that is off suspension come Sunday. He's suspended every Monday to Sunday at 6. That's the way.
And another thing with on Elijah Melendez, he really did CB show with no shirt on. Like he really just came on and had no shirt on.
Just don't give a fuck. Just doesn't give a fuck.
Just like, you know what I mean?
This is what it is. Yeah.
Like,
man, he was out there like, is this the wearing no shirt? Yeah.
This is
y'all go check out. Y'all go check out CB's channel. Listen, that kind of energy is what you want on the squad. Like he's gonna show up like, yo, I'm ready to hit everybody.
He was Ving Rhames on Baby Boy, man. He would just walk in the kitchen in the fridge
with the house shoes, son. With the house shoes.
Drinking straight out the carton, you know what I mean? And you know,
hey, what up, brother? Hope everything is good with you, man. You back home, all good. Cold as fucking Iowa. I can never go. Never. That's just crazy. I got poked. Yeah, man, it's a lot. Son, we're in January, already talking 26s, looking at 27s. Our guys, Sebastian Lane, getting ready to come back and do some, you know what I'm saying, do their recruiting thing.
Rasta,
love what they do over there, man. Shout out to Rasta and D Frank. We'll have them back on the show soon. Listen, man, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Like, shit, son. Like, you have the 7-on-7. We're gonna be there next year, by the way. That's not the big announcement. That's coming. We're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be there next year with Poke. I already told Poke he's coming. Like, I don't even give Poke options. I'm like, yo, hey, we going, son. I'm like, all right, cool. I need security, son. I'm a big monster. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. And this is a tough time, man, right? Like, ain't no portal. We got a couple weeks, no official dates for the spring practices yet. You start getting it figured out. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot, man. It's a lot of moving pieces. Yeah, Pope, we talked about it already. You're going, son. We talked about it. It's a wrap.
Damn.
Who you? Yeah. What position group? Obviously, way too early, right? We're doing this in January. Like, what position group are you most excited about as far as recruiting? Like the little bit of like dipping your toes in, watching the huddles. What group is like, yo, this group needs a lot of
backers, LBs, TJ Alford,
yes,
Mr. Walker,
yep.
Gavin Nix.
Probably.
I mean, I'm LBs, man. Them LB, because I feel like this class is gonna be crazy. I feel like because we have to, right? So after this season,
we go on a normal.
Linebacker's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Kiko's gone.
Yep. Wes can go. You know, if he has a dope year, he can go. Most likely Chase Smith is probably gonna bounce after this year. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I really
Well,
hope he gets on the field this year, bro.
and then
Instead
you
of
got
just
the
being
young, you got the young boys.
Popo,
You got Popo, you got Bobby, and you
Malik.
got Malik. You know,
Yeah,
so yeah, we're gonna need the next crop. And
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I think it's
that'll
gonna
be
be heavy. I think it's gonna be like, look, we haven't, what I'm saying, we don't know nobody in the building like that. I think it's gonna be heavy on linebackers, DBs, because you gotta keep stacking that up, and wide receivers and like a quarterback, and obviously always 2 to 3 linemen on both sides. You know what
oh
I'm
yeah.
saying?
hmm
That's just what it is.
By all accounts, and we'll continue. And it's early, like it's
Yeah,
January. There are some juniors that just need to grow and develop, and the tape right now may not look like the tape in June, but
yep,
that's where the evaluation comes into play. That's where
yep. Hmm.
Zoe comes into play. That's where Dennis Smith comes into play. That's
Hmm.
where
Hmm.
Maribel, Cristobal, all those guys come into play with the evaluations, man, because they offer these guys early. Look at Judd, right?
Yeah,
Judd, everybody was talking. Everybody was
yeah.
talking bad about Judd. You know what I
What
mean?
up, man?
Now, what up, and now he's a 4-star now. And listen, we know about the stars. Whatever.
Yeah,
Stars are
yeah.
stars.
That's
But
yeah,
he did improve because I said, like, when I watched his senior film, I was like, oh shit, this looks much better than what I saw
yes,
previously.
100%.
So yeah.
Like night and day, right? Like even like if like a lame somebody who'd never seen it was like saw the junior film, then saw the senior film, like, oh, this guy's gotten better. Like this guy,
Mhm.
dedicated himself to his craft, and he's gonna get better. Hopefully that continues, and what I'm saying, he keeps making those progressions. 100%. I
Yeah,
got, and,
Zuby
I'm saying,
Zuby alluded to it earlier too, man. Like Luke Nickel, he saw him early and he was like,
facts.
Now he's like, damn. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
CJ Wiley, the same thing. Saw him
You felt that
early.
he gotten bigger. He's definitely gotten. You see the size on him. In the
Yeah.
last few classes, what is the one prospect that you guys were shocked being the biggest jump physically in terms of weight by the end of the senior year at any position? The
Last
last few
two
classes.
classes.
So just Mario's classes, right? Um,
Yeah.
man, okay, as far as weight, like I would say, as far as improvement to me, um, I can't even. No, I can't
I'm
even
gonna
say like
go.
the
I'm gonna
lowest.
go backward. I'm surprised Markeith Williams is not bigger. I'm gonna go the
The
other way.
opposite. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Markeith has not. Markeith has not
Yeah.
put on. I'm
He got
listen, bro,
the
this
he got the
Markeith.
Snoop syndrome. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
honestly, for me, it would be the most. I guess if we're gonna go most improved, and I would go Jacoby George, because X was always the most. What I'm saying, reliable. X was not always. Not, I didn't think he'd be 1,000 yard receiver, but Jacoby George, just being consistent and being that deep threat that we needed, still has some learning to do. But I think his route running has always been crisp. But I think KB under another year with him could definitely take a bigger step,
mhm,
because KB came in late last year, right? Like he came in like almost right at the beginning of spring, so it
mhm.
didn't get that full cycle with him. So yeah, as much as I have, I'm saying, made my comments in the past about Jacoby, he showed out last year. As far as, honestly, man, as far as size, what they did with Ruben Baines and Anez Cooper's body.
Mhm.
So Anez Cooper came in like almost 400 pounds, and he's,
Yeah, that's
I,
fact.
I hope, what I'm saying, and the way he looks now, night and day, bro, night and day,
Mm,
and locked in at right guard. Like that is written in Sharpie, heavy handed with a stamp on it. It's not even a question.
That's facts. That's facts.
Yeah, look, Markeith is everywhere. Look, we said it on the show. Flo said it. Other podcasts. Markeith was in every play at the Rutgers game. Just not enough size.
Yeah.
That's
And listen,
that's
some people are like that. I
yeah.
know a couple people like that, fam. They will eat
Lucky,
you out of house and home, but they
lucky
won't
son.
gain that weight, man. You know what I
So now I
mean?
look
The
at food. I
metabolism
gain a
is
good 7.
crazy. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's just it.
I
Just
don't
works like
know.
that, man. What sucks? Look, he's everywhere. He knows that playbook because he read every single play correctly, but he bounced off everybody. running backs, quarterbacks, wide receivers, just every single skill position group
That's
on that
hard,
team.
man. That's
It's
hard.
not easy, bro. It's not easy. Look, that's not. He can't do anything. I'm sure he's eating like a monster, but just can't put on the lbs, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
And I'm sure he's gotten stronger. I'm sure he's gotten faster, but yeah. It
Yeah,
ain't
that's true. Yeah,
going to, yeah.
yeah. Some people their weight carries differently, right? Like
Mhm.
195 could look very different. 195 could look like 220 on certain people.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it all varies. You can't have like that's another thing that we're gonna talk about. You can't have the same metric saying like, oh, if this person's this way, they're gonna be successful. Sometimes that varies, right? Like we seen the opposite. You want to go way back, Anthony Chickalo. I'm saying like, oh, let's. I keep using him as an example. Oh, let's put the weight on him. Look what happened. He dropped the weight. He has a solid career with the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? Let's
Yeah, that's
just
facts. That's facts. All weight ain't good weight.
yeah, all weight and good weight. Oh, Zion Nelson. Don't even got to go that far back. Zion Nelson. Benny,
Yeah.
sounds like we have to inquire about a Pinball NL package for Markeith. Yeah, yeah, son. It's a problem. He has to like get factor, get all the meals sent to his crib. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure nutrition's working with him. I'm sure they've you know what I'm saying they've definitely upped it. When you have Leonard Taylor in the middle of last year saying I'm finally learning how to eat. Like these are
Mhm.
things. This is now rolling into a whole new crop of players.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
So
It's
we
crazy.
we have spring ball coming up. Spring ball
Yep.
starts when a couple weeks.
Uh, I think at probably the beginning of March. They
Beginning of
haven't
March.
released the official dates yet.
They did release the
I don't
schedule,
know.
right? The practice schedule.
Did they?
Yeah,
Y'all
they
let me know.
released the practice schedule.
So I have a terrible memory. All of a sudden, just like since I'm saying that 19 hit. When it comes to the weight program, do you guys think there's a reason why some of our players in the past few years have struggled adding or keeping weight was the program was installed? Not everybody's body responds the same, right? Like if you are, you know what I'm saying, if you have tendons or whatever, you know what I'm saying, if your flexibility ain't to the level of other people, you can pull a bunch of you can have a bunch of injuries. Depends on what happens with your anatomy. There's a bunch of different reasons why. I'm saying kind of know a little bit about that. There's a bunch of reasons why certain players struggle with it. And again, look, we go back to Leonard Taylor. It was his fourth year in the program, and middle of last year, he was saying he's first learning how to eat. You know what I'm saying? He's first learning how to eat correctly for his body. A lot of times, guys just don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Guys just
Mhm.
don't know, and that's just what it is. And dropping weight is because they're losing the bad fat. Like that's their bodies are gonna change. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens with that.
It looks like practice kicks off on March 4th.
Okay, so that's 4 weeks. That probably puts it right at the end of March, then, right? For the
Now
spring game.
April 13th is supposed to be the spring. That's the last practice on April 13th.
So that's
Saturday,
spring
April
game then.
13th.
So that's a spring game.
Yeah, so we definitely plan on being down there. God willing.
Yep. What was that? Hold on, Zan. Hold on. Son, I got sound bars. Hold on. That's a big announcement, man. You know what I'm saying? Look, guys, it's that time, man. Look, just stretch it out. Listen, before anybody, I'm gonna say it. Before anybody else gets the idea, I want y'all to know, man, we will be back for spring game just like last year. Second annual Caneswear live show meetup. We have the list to be determined of guys we're gonna have out there, content creators, you know what I'm saying, people we rock with, all that stuff, man. At Caneswear, we already talked to Brett and Jeff. We're gonna be out there, you know what I'm saying? It's already set. The time is to be determined, everything, but it is done. We will be out there Saturday before the game. Come out to Caneswear, chop it up with us. You know what I'm saying? Hang out. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, cop some stuff from Caneswear. Get your new iteration of Canes apparel. Myself, Joe. You know what I'm saying? Possibly some superstars that has his own channel with a Marvel graphic beginning. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to say too many names.
We're working on a few surprises for everybody, man, out there. So
Yeah.
few guest appearances, So
Yeah, man, we want y'all to come out there, man. Come rock with us, man. Y'all been rocking with us. Y'all see the channel growing. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Anthony, Fantasy Football Now. I got Ian Coleman in the building. CB, Pokane's family. Pokane's on the team, so that's not even like Our guy AO can't make it because there's no flights out of Iowa at that time. So there's only one. There's only one hangar at the airport. You know what I'm saying? It's just one. So we coming out there, man. Yeah. So we're excited about it, man. We loved it last year. It was a dope experience. I'm saying you learn from what you learn from your mistakes. It was the first one ever. We'll be better this year. I'm saying make sure everybody has their computer, making sure everybody has their microphone. We ain't saying no names, but he's looking down. He's looking down and not acknowledging what we talk about. But
Listen,
yeah, man, we're excited. What up?
it's popping. It's popping. We gonna have it popping. You know how we
Mhm,
do, man. It's gonna be crazy out there. A lot of love last year, man. We saw a lot of love. Looked like April 13th. Drop.
Last
That's a
practice is April 13th, according to
D-Rock.
the
That's
schedule
it.
that Joe.
Drop.
Yeah,
D-Rock.
D-Rock is free. I don't blame Reese for the competition he was facing. It wasn't his fault during the recruiting cycle. He wasn't highly recruited. He has to go to Division 3 to dominate. Yeah, that's a
Talking about
far
Reese.
way down.
Are we talking about?
They're talking about Reese.
So it took long.
I understand why people were upset. It took him.
And we
Basically
basically
wasted a scholarship.
wasted a scholarship. I don't think. Yeah, I definitely don't think it's a waste. I definitely think the quarterback room had to get fixed regardless, right? So regardless
Yes.
of if Cam came, if Will Howard came, you had to add another arm to that room,
Yes.
regardless, especially for spring, because Emory probably is not going to be available for spring. And then who else do you have?
Judd,
You
a true
just
freshman.
have, you just have Jakari and who?
You're basically left with the same situation as last year.
Yeah. You had to add an arm regardless. So I'm not mad that you added the best arm in FCS. Not mad about it.
Yeah.
It's
Not
a
mad
win.
about
It's a if he doesn't adjust to the speed of the game, the size of the players, and all of that, then I'm sure he'll go somewhere where he can do that. So I don't think it's a waste.
And we see your comment. Just to want to put it out there for because of the I'm saying the expletive that you used. I don't know how YouTube works with all that stuff. But yeah, it's not a waste. Like people got to realize when Jake left, that should have been replaced. Not when Jake Garcia left, that's a year missing that we had, right? Like the way it's broken down. You got to get a quarterback every class. We didn't get a quarterback every class for like 2 years, so that's what threw us off. That's what threw off the whole thing. Jake left, didn't get a guy because certain person was sensitive, and then the Alabama thing happened. When the Alabama thing happened, should have jumped in the portal again and got another guy. So that's where, and we talked about it on For the Culture. AO mentioned that. You know what I'm saying? We talked about it before. Where you should have it should be always one guy every year. And if somebody gets beats out, they leave. At least you have somebody behind them. We got stuck with basically a redshirt freshman and a true freshman last year behind a fifth-year junior. You know what I'm saying? And once he struggled, you had two guys with zero experience. So that's why you needed Reese. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely.
Exactly, fantasy football. You know what I'm saying? So adding resets up for that. Exactly. Like, look,
Yeah.
and he could leave after spring, right? He could leave after spring and jump in that portal. That's absolutely true. But he might stay, and you know what I'm saying. NIL might be all right with him because I'm sure he wasn't getting that at FCS. So now he stays throughout the fall, and then he could jump back in the
And
portal.
he has 2 years. So in 25, it's a battle. Him, Jakari, Judd, Emory. That's the 4. And then you got Luke Nickel coming in 25. So
which is
that's
perfect.
the battle.
And then you could redshirt Luke. let him get that year, and you don't have to rush him onto the field.
Yeah.
And people are always gonna say stupid stuff on Twitter, man. People overreact to everything. Like people react to the guys they didn't get and the guys they might we don't you know how we cook, man. We don't worry about them.
And listen, I look at the competition factor too. That's huge for me. But we gonna see, right? Like it ain't he's here now.
Find out.
So we gonna see how he adjusts and if it translates. We gonna see.
Fam, he could be a Matt Saracen from Friday Night Lights. I'm saying might not be the best player, you know what I'm saying, but might just get the dubs. But he might not. He's also not going to start because Cam Ward is here, and that shit is too crazy. Nah, man, we don't think Morrow will send him back. But if the competition gets too hard, you know what I'm saying, competition breeds greatness or portal.
Yep.
That's it. Like that's what it is now.
Well,
When I watch say for Judd Anderson, I see two players in a Matt Stafford and a young Phillip Rivers.
mm,
Those are good comps though. Those are good comps. You know what I'm saying? I'll take that. And again, he'll take the year. Doesn't have to rush on the field, fill his body out, get a little stronger, a little bit more athletic. You know what I'm saying? Because he's tall as shit, but he's a little bit lanky.
yeah.
All right, I'm good with all the QBs we got. Like we've been saying, great competition in my opinion. When JB is done, I think Luke gonna beat Judd and Emery in my opinion. All right, that's a solid opinion. That's
Yeah.
a solid opinion. You also don't know who else we could get though, right? Like it's so early in the process. You don't know if we get two quarterbacks this year because you never know what could happen. It's so early, man. Like when we did our schedule breakdown, and we told y'all we haven't even looked at the other teams' rosters or anything like that. We're just purely surface based, like just looking at the teams and who we think they are. And when we do the deeper dive, yeah, we'll do the deeper dive into the roster. We got some things coming out for that. You know what I'm saying? Announcement coming for that on Sunday when we got up the whole squad. But yeah, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. And we got the comparison of what we heard for Reese in terms of Spencer Rattler, Baker
Yeah,
Mayfield. I'm good with.
a lot of people have been comparing him to Baker Mayfield. You know, we'll see, man. I listen, we'll see, man. Hopefully he does his thing. Gentlemen, thank you for showing my son so much love. Who's your son, Enlightened Ones?
And
Who's your
just
son
for the record,
son?
we will always be positive to these young men playing this game. We ain't never gonna be that people bashing them. You'll never catch us or anybody we rock with. They say they rock with us, they don't. They're lying because we're very obvious and crystal clear about who we rock with and who we don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. Yeah, Judd is athletic, but so is Reese, right? Reese be dunking at 6 foot.
Yeah, Judd is an
So,
athlete too. Yeah, Judd played basketball, baseball, I
oh
think.
yeah. Oh, the warden. Hell
Oh,
yeah. Shout out to the
it's my
warden, man.
guy,
Hey,
man.
if y'all
That's
got
the
time,
young
everybody in the
boy
chat, man,
right
and
there.
everybody who watches the rewatch, man, y'all go follow Tavares Ward. This young man is busting his hump, man, trying to, you know what I'm saying, try to get better every single day. You know what I'm saying? Showing you the work ethic, not being afraid to put himself out there. He's showing you how hard he's grinding, man. A solid DB. He's working, man. And y'all go follow him, man. Always tags us. Nothing but love and support for the young man. He keeps grinding, and we will keep shouting him out because that's just how we do it, man. We ain't never gonna bring nothing negative out here, man.
Yeah.
That's not how we rock. So shout out to Tavares Ward, the war.
Is he a freshman? He's a freshman.
Young
That
boy,
young
man,
man,
cooking out there though. Yeah, that
sophomore.
work ethic is
Yeah,
that work ethic is there, bro.
I gotta catch
That
a
work ethic.
game, man. I gotta catch a game this year.
I'm gonna go see Elijah, bro. I'm gonna go see Elijah this year.
Yeah, because Tavares. Yeah, I gotta catch a game, man. Got to.
Everybody's more athletic than Rivers, bro.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
not,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Those
that's
dudes
not
ain't
even the
moving.
crazy. This is the crazy of the report I've been reading. The kid just committed from Texas A&M out of Texas Hill. We're having the link. Yeah, he's 14, so he's a freshman. Yeah, that's crazy. In light ones.
Yeah.
Back to Tavares Ward. Listen, yo, it's early. Don't listen. If you don't overreact, go to youheardpodcast.com right now. Go cop yourself the shirt that says "Wake Me Up in December" because that's
Wake
all
me
you.
up in December, man.
We got, you know what I'm saying, got Joey's face on this, taking a nap. We got it cooked up for y'all, man. None of this, look, this is how it's gonna work every year. I'm gonna prepare y'all. I'm a secret about to be out. January, the meeting, and you weed people out, right? You bring Battle Miami because why would they go to the swamp or Tallahassee? Nobody wants to go there for real. You know what I'm saying?
It's not
Nobody
battle.
wants
There's
to
no battle Tallahassee.
No, there's no Battle Tallahassee. No, what would there be? No, why
Okay.
would there be? Come on now, let's be honest.
I was just
There's no
asking.
battle.
I don't know. I'm not down there, so I don't know.
There's no swamp battles. You know what I'm saying? That's not what happens. They just wrestle actual gators and do dumb stuff. So Battle Miami, thousands of people coming through our halls, you know what I'm saying, in the IPF, and eventually the bigger building. Already done unofficial visits. They'll focus on who they want to focus on, who they've already tapped, like, yo, this is the guy like DJ Pickett this year, you know what I'm saying, so on and so forth. You start setting up the practices, you start setting up the visits and the in-homes and the school visits throughout the fall and the spring. And then July, summertime frame, you'll get the same that whole month, get the whole big visits again, and then everybody waits till December. That's the way it's gonna work. And there'll be commits from this time to from now to December. The class will be popping. But December early signing day is the focus. That's it, man. Nothing else. All this other noise of he's committing tomorrow. Oh, we hearing this week. You'll never hear that shit from us. You never hear that at all from us because why? Because
And
then we
if
just
you
hyping you up. Then
if
we
you
look stupid.
notice, man, if you notice the way Coach Cristobal and the staff does things, they don't push for commitments like that. You can tell because there's rarely a lot of early commits in the Miami class.
Yep.
Rarely. Like they make sure they tell these guys, yo, go take your visits, man.
Do your
You know
thing.
what I mean?
Go see
Go
Beard.
see what's
Yeah.
popping. We
Yep.
still gonna be here because they don't want
Yep.
decommits.
Yep.
They don't want a lot of decommits. Think about how many decommits Miami has had the last 2 years. Like it's not that many.
2, right? Like Riley last year. Riley was a decommit. And then a flip.
He just went to another school. Like he
Yeah.
just, you know what I mean? He didn't
Because
announce.
the center that we lost to Auburn wasn't because he went to Auburn, went to another school.
Yeah.
Had that guy who like committed to us, but we didn't even know who he was. I don't remember him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And you had Cormani who left last minute. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
There's not really many decommits, man.
Yeah, exactly. Major cities. You know what I'm saying? Miami, LA, Atlanta, Dallas. Ain't no Gainesville in there, son. You know what I mean? They can't all stay at the La Quinta. You know what I'm saying? But that's just not what happens. All right, and what you ask, is there safety? And according to this class, I think with the unknown guys, you're gonna have to look locally. You know what I'm saying? I think like you see like a Ryan Mack last year on OJ Frederic. I think you're gonna continue to get those guys like at Heritage or Miami Central. We're definitely gonna look. We got some things brewing for the guys we want to focus on. I don't know if we want to talk about that too much yet, Joe, because we still, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna talk about it a little bit on Sunday, and we got some things brewing with that. So we're gonna start dipping our toes in with that. But it's definitely gonna be some local guys. It might not necessarily have to go nationally.
Yeah. We'll definitely talk about that when we get our thing set up. I don't think many people are talking about Chris Ewald, though. I would definitely like, Chris Ewald to come through. He's local, and he's that guy. So yeah. But yeah, we'll definitely chop it up and talk about own it, yeah.
Don't even try to
I'm not even gonna say it's like onus, son.
OKB. Can we just give it OKB? You know what I'm saying? Just go with the
onus.
Honest. Is it onus or is it honest? We don't know. We should reach out to him. CB probably knows because he's talked to him on his channel.
Yeah.
Yo, and probably Anthony Mazzano. If we keep it a buck with this guy, he probably has speech text because he types fast as shit. So shout out to Ant, man. Shout out to Ant. Terry Kane says, man types faster than I can think. Facts. Flo says, I think Flo said the staff wants the kid. Flo said the staff is stopping some kids from public community because it's too early and want them to go through the Fosters. I think you have to let them go see what's popping out there because they got to be Canes.
They're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, they're gonna do it anyway. Like everybody who says, "Yo, we don't," fam. Listen, keep it a buck with y'all. Me and Joe talked about it. If we were in the possibility in the realm of getting committed by a school like Miami, we were that age. We taking every visit, every single official visit that I could take. So I'm gonna see everything. I'll go see Oregon, except for those other two schools up here.
I'm going to Hawaii. I'm going to Hawaii. I'm going to Cali. I'm going, man.
Yes.
Out. Yeah, and
man, I'm getting out.
And you know what I mean? You got to think about we're not at that level yet to be like, yo, lock down, chill out, or we moving on from you. We not that yet. Like I think it's coming. It could be coming, but we're not like that right now, man. You know not
with the aliens we're trying to get.
Yeah, pump. We gotta pump our brakes a little. We can't get too big for our britches just yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. we love Miami. We love Miami, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? We also got to see what Miami's been the last 20 years.
Put
The program
a
that was
couple
50
playoffs and a couple playoff wins,
Yeah.
a couple conference championships,
Yeah.
a
Resume got to be
couple
better.
of national championships, and we'll be there. But,
D-Rock asked, what games y'all going to next season? I live in Gainesville on the games I did go to ain't done to do before the games. Definitely gonna be a USF in Tampa. I mean, I'm around that area too, D-Rock. You know what I'm saying? Definitely gonna be the USF game. I personally, for my mental and my emotional state, like I can't be around that kind of energy up there in Gainesville just because it's too many people talking, and I'm good. I've gone up there.
gotta bring bail money,
I
son. Gotta bring bail
Yeah,
money, man.
exactly. So I'm like, I don't want to deal with that energy. So I'm good. I chill at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Might do a little watch party, something at the crib. This is the guy who I was about to say. Well, you talk about Chris Ewald, fantasy
yeah.
football. Now we got to talk, man. I know you're big into recruiting, so we got to talk because we might be talking about some stuff. Ben Hanks for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna go with OKB. If I can't say the name, I'm gonna just give you a nickname. That's the way. I'm not gonna disrespect you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a nickname. That's just what it is.
Hold on. Let's
And-
talk about these games. Let's talk about these games real quick. D-Rock.
All right.
So my cousin is a Florida Gator fan, man. And
That's insane.
he
Sorry to hear that.
And he grew up with me. That's I failed him. I don't know. I
You
tell
did.
him all the time,
You
I
did.
failed you, brother.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
you
mean?
did.
But he wants to go to
Can I
that
ask you?
game.
Can I ask you something? When he saw those colors, he goes, "Yo, that's for me." Like that's the thing that I can't. The blue with the orange, fam. Like I just like
Fred
it
Taylor,
just
man. Fred
okay.
Taylor did
No,
it
yeah,
for him.
yeah. That's all you had to say.
We
Yep.
love Fred Taylor,
That's the
man.
him, and they had at the end that those are the only two Gators I respect.
Javon Curse.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he loved
I
Fred
don't care
Taylor,
who.
man. So
I do like the
he
pivot. Shout out to the pivot podcast.
yeah, he wants to go to that game. So we may attempt to do that. If it's not ridiculous, I'm not paying ridiculous prices for no tickets. But
It's still ridiculous.
yeah, if
Yep.
we do that, but listen, Tampa, USF,
Yep.
definitely.
Mhm.
Atlanta,
Yes,
definitely.
I will be there.
FSU, that's my wife's birthday weekend, so
You can't.
I have to spit a little bit of game, but
Yeah, yeah.
definitely she's gonna be there. She gonna have to be there.
Mhm.
I want to go to the Manny Bowl. That's
Duke
Duke.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's right after that. So that's wild.
Yeah.
I'll probably do a couple more, man, because I bought season tickets, man, and I can't
You gotta
not use
justify it.
it. Yeah,
No, 100%.
yeah,
100%. No, yeah, I'm with you on that one. All right, let's see here. Ant Hill, the quarterback from Houston County, from Warner Robins, Georgia.
yeah. I
Yeah.
haven't
That,
watched. I haven't watched. Oh,
we know,
hell yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, definitely.
yeah, we know who you're talking about. Just haven't watched him yet.
hmm
Beyond our public commit. I mean, the coaches don't want them as much. Yeah, they just want them to do their due diligence, man. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
the
not. It's
coaches.
not like that.
Listen, every recruit says the coaches keep it a buck. The communication is never the problem. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
facts.
And in recruiting, it's a real simple thing in recruiting. If you don't hear from them, they're not rocking with you. So
Exactly.
move on.
Very
You know
easy.
what I mean? If you
Yeah.
don't hear from a coach, man, they're not interested. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, L. I stay cool, man. I stay away from negative energy. That space with I'm good. I've been around them people. I'm all set. Terry, on the menu, we took everyone early, guys. Most of the time it don't work out. Now with
facts.
bags being legal, it's the best to wait. Not
Yeah,
just that,
that's
but
facts,
you
Terry.
also not to throw because they were still Kings in the end, but go
Mhm.
back and look at the offer list from those guys that we took early, and look at
Mhm.
the offer list of the guys we're telling to wait now.
Mhm.
That's a difference, right? Like when you're battling with Central Michigan, isn't the same. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like now we fishing in deeper water, so
Mhm.
that's also a bigger factor. These aren't the guys you're like, yo, now or never. Because then that guy that's a 5-star tells another guy like, yo, man, it was pressuring me like crazy. I don't know. I told him I needed some time. Then that rolls over. The same thing, the opposite effect of what Joe was talking about. When you get a DJ, if you get a DJ Pickett, you get him locked in, and he becomes your main recruiter. That changes. If DJ Pickett gets negative vibes from you, he's going to talk to other 5-stars.
Yep.
Then you could get some negative recruiting just from the players. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Absolutely.
I can't remember his last name, but the only Florida player I've liked watching was a safety. Major Right was a Major Right.
Oh yeah, it gotta be Major Right. If it's Major, that's the only one. That's the only one.
I'm actually from Homestead, son. I'm saying I grew up in Homestead most of my life, man. Shout out to that, man. All right, look, we up out of here, man, and I can't leave y'all. You know what I'm saying? Without doing, a little auto tune, auto tune, auto tune. Thank you for watching, for listening to the You Heard We out of here, man. Joe, you embarrassed? Huh? I can keep this going, son. You good? Huh? You good?
I'm not condoning this, man.
Thank you.
I'm not condoning this, man.
Thank you. I'll be here the rest of forever.
Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button.
Stay You Heard Pod, man.
Please
Shout out
rock
to L,
with
man.
it.
Shout out to even with the auto tune. You know what I'm saying? It's just
we became mumble rappers out here, man. We went to that.
I went put some T-Pain in my shit, son. It's not the death of auto tune anymore. How about that? Sorry, Jay. All right, man. We up out of here. Peace.